this Thursday, April the, what's the day, the 8th? Yeah, I think it's April 8th. How's everybody doing? Just coming on to say hi and to talk about some things. I told y'all I wanted to just continue my series on, and I know I'm just one person, but if I can help one person, hey, then I feel like that I have a purpose anyway. But if I can help one person, then I know all this is not in vain. Look, like I said, this is a hobby for me. This is not my career, but I just feel like this is a way we can reach out to people who, you know, sometimes people are going through things, they don't have anybody to talk to, and some things you don't want to tell nobody because you're embarrassed. You don't want to give it to nobody but God. I understand. I have been there in my own personal life. But what I want to talk about though, y'all, is, and I'm going to keep on harping on this, is that situation with child support and all that. So, okay, and I have recorded this already before, but I'm just going to go ahead and start it over. So you're a young man, and the young lady that you were intimate with has come to you and said, I'm pregnant. What would you do? Or if you're that young woman, what do you do? And that's why I'm having this conversation. I want more conversation about abstinence, especially in teenagers and young adults. Until you find out what you want to do in life, and until you've discovered your purpose, I just don't think you should be having children. And, you know, I know women that are 60, 50, 60, 40, 30s don't have any kids. Some don't even want kids, and that's perfectly okay, because I'm telling you, when you have a child, your life would never be the same because you're responsible for somebody else. And I'm not talking about doing the bare minimum. I'm not just saying get them up and feed them and that's it. Man, kids have to be nurtured. Up until my kids were probably at the age where they stopped eating and putting their hands in the head, I was washing my kids' hair every morning or every night. Every day I would wash their hair. Because food and everything get in the hair. They wasting milk in their hair. That sours. You know? It's not easy. And my heart goes out to anybody that has more than one, because that is a job. And you know, you can't give more than one child your undivided attention at all times. It just don't work. It's going to be hard to do. It is. And I'm talking about single parents now. When it's two, each one of you can take a child, switch them up or whatever. But when it's just one, you got to focus on everything that child, all their wants and all their needs. You know, it's a lot. It is a lot. You know, live your young, free life. See the world. You know, travel. Experience new things before you go and have a baby. Because it's not easy. Children are a blessing. Yes, they are. But it's a lot of work. And you can read 1,000 books and still don't tell you, because every book don't pertain to every child. Every child is different. Every child's needs is different. Needs are different. Wants are different, you know. So it's not easy. It's not impossible. But, you know, it's just better to wait. I would tell them don't have sex at all. But if you're going to have sex, protect yourself. Protect yourself. And then what does the Bible say about it? What does the Bible say about having sex? Fornication is a sin. It is. Sex is supposed to be for married couples. Not just somebody random you meet up with and, oh, he look good, I want to jump his bones. And then 9 months from now, you can't find him and you're stuck to raise a child, his child, but he's nowhere to be found. Man, come on, women. I'm talking to the men too, but I'm mostly talking to the women, because we're the ones that have to bear these children. We're the ones that have to raise these kids. And I'm not saying the dads aren't there, but I look at paternity court, and you see a lot of, I keep having to go back to that, because man, that has opened my eyes to a lot. It has. Most of those people on there, they want to do better because they didn't have their dad. It's a lot of them, and some didn't have their mother as well. But 90% of them tell you they didn't have their dad. And so that's why I was talking about it in the last video that I uploaded. Let your little son know if he lay down with a girl, whether he like her or not, and she end up with a baby by him, he gonna take care of that baby. And I saw, I don't know where I saw this at, and I was like, wow. But then I thought about it. The guy said, a wife is temporary. No, how you had a baby mama is permanent, but a wife is temporary. So, in other words, if a woman has his child, she gonna always be the baby mama, but he could divorce a wife, which is really true if you really think about it, literally. If he and the wife divorce, she then becomes another one of the baby mamas. Unfortunately, I don't like that terminology. I think your child's mother, but I'm just saying, if you really think about it, he was really, I don't know, it was one of those rappers, I think it was. But people, and I'm going to keep on harping on this because I want somebody to hit me in the back. Y'all hear me? Look, come on, y'all. We got to do better. I'm talking to my younger self, and I'm embarrassed. I step back and I look over my life. Why did you have these children and you weren't, first of all, buying a house in a stable situation to take care of them? Why did you do that? I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying this because I know my YouTube videos are not made for children, but somebody that's adult. You 18 years old, you can watch what you want to watch, you can do what you want to do. You can go out with your friends, you can meet this guy, and an hour later you land up with him. Don't do that to yourself. Your body is a temple. Make it holy. Save yourself. You know, if you go and sleep with him the first night, he don't have nothing else to look up to. You know, he don't have nothing else to, like my brother used to say, if you could show him everything in one night, he ain't got nothing to look forward to the next day because he done seen it all. You know? And people talk freely about, and you know, this is maybe a little too vulgar, but they talk freely about oral sex. But I was watching the news one night, and this lady was saying that she had throat cancer. And she said that the way she got throat cancer was from oral sex. The HPV virus lies dormant in the body, and then it becomes active, and you know, and then she get that HPV in the mouth. Just like some people can end up with cervical cancer from it, you can end up from oral cancer too. People need to have that talk with their kids, man. Let me tell you something. You can sit there and say, "Oh, my kids don't need to know that." Yes, they do, because you don't know what they learn out in the streets. You better teach them yourself. A lot of things I learned, my mama didn't teach. We really didn't have that conversation. I just learned as I go. We didn't have the internet like we have it now, where you can research everything, and then just because you're researching don't mean you're gonna get the truth either. So y'all, I'm telling this is a message from me to anybody who will listen, and it's coming from out of love and not judgment. Save yourself a lot of harm. There's a lot of illness. There's a lot of disease. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of incarceration, all from pleasure. People seeking pleasure. I just want better. I just want better for the world. I see these young kids, they talk any kind of language, they do anything they want to do. There's no guidance, there's no instruction, there's no love, there's no patience. It's crazy. It's crazy. I just want the world to be a better place, because it can be. But we got to put God first. Because when you put him first, everything else aligns. And like I say, I made some changes in my life. I've been doing things I shouldn't have been done for years, for decades. But when you know better, you do better. And that's why I can tell y'all, you know, you're a young woman, you don't know what to do. You know what? And you got a guy, hey, if she don't sleep with me, I'm moving on. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Sex is not the most important thing. My brother used to say, my brother that passed last year in June, it's not who you love, it's who love you. You think about that. You think about that. And love does not equal sex. Your heart is here, it's not down below, okay? I'm going to keep harping on it. I'm going to keep harping on that, because just because that don't make you special because he want to sleep with you, because guess what? Tonight he may be sleeping with somebody else. I'm telling y'all all this because as a young single woman, I've seen it. And another thing is, you know, I'll make another video on that, but I'm just telling y'all, save yourself, you know. I mean, sex could be a beautiful thing if it's done in God's order, but when it's not, what you got? You got heartache, you got disease, you got unprotected, you got unwanted children out of wedlock. Then you got to deal with a baby father, the father of your children, who may have other mothers of his other children. It's just a mess. So if you can avoid all that, man, pray for peace, understanding, direction, and purpose. All right. I love y'all. And that's the only reason why I'm here. I ain't here to judge. I'm here to help somebody. You don't know what to do. And sometimes, a lot of times, young women, you know, even myself, I didn't feel love because I had those big old gaps in my teeth. And so it made me self-conscious. I was smart, but I wasn't that popular. But I was smart. I wasn't that popular, but I was smart. You understand what I'm saying? So God gave me just what I needed to, you know, to progress, to prosper. But then I took my own body, in a sense, to use that to be accepted or wanted or whatever. And what did it cause me? High school pregnancy. High school dropout. Didn't get my college degree till I was 34. But you can do it just like I did it. You can be better than me. That's the only reason why I'm coming here, because I see it's a ministry. I go to church every Sunday. I listen to all kind of when I'm working at my desk, I'm looking at YouTube and I'm watching videos, but there is not a lot of conversation. I'm not saying it hasn't been, but there's not a lot of conversation. There's not a lot of sermons about fornication, premarital sex, shacking up with guys you're not married to. It's just becoming the norm. And that's not what I mean, you know, it's a touchy subject. Nobody really wants to talk about it, but it's there, and it's there for a reason. It's there for a reason. I told y'all my first goal was to be an attorney. And I know I could be a judge equivalent to Judge Lauren Lake. Love her to death. I love her spirit. I love her compassion. I love her empathy. I love her toughness, because she has that. All right, y'all, let me get on and hit to work. It is Thursday. I'm already late, so I ain't rushing to get here. What I do is when I'm late, I just stay over or take a small, don't take my whole hour for lunch or whatever. I make it work. But I just want to help somebody. I just want to keep somebody else from experiencing the heartache of raising children on my own and the sacrifices I've had to make. And, like I said, I wanted to go to law school. Didn't do that. Ended up 34 years old. And I still could have gone. I'm not saying it, but it wouldn't have been easy. Because it's not easy to just leave your kids 11, 12 hours with people that you really don't hardly know yourself. And that would have had to have been my situation. But in spite of it all, I think I'm where God wants me to be. I do believe that. But because of my own mistakes, you know how, and I think about this. When we go and make mistakes, and I tell y'all about that. I'll talk about that maybe later. Well, let me go ahead and talk about it now. Y'all ever think about this? You know how they say, like, God, like you late, but the reason why you late, God saved you for an accident or something. Y'all ever think about this? I be sitting and I be so deep sometimes it's scary, but then it's not. I like the way I think sometimes. But have y'all ever thought about this? You make a mistake in your life. Say, for instance, your life predestined. But do you ever think about this? Seriously, this may sound crazy. But you ever think about this? You know how you put in direction on your GPS? And it tells you where to go. And you got clear directions on how to get there. But you venture off. And then it's got to redirect you. Do you ever think God has to redirect our life sometimes? Or does everything happen because, I don't know. I'm just, sometimes I'm more deeper than what I should be. I'm going to have to look that up. So, if God is the pilot and you get off track, do you get a new direction? Or are the mistakes you made you're supposed to make so you can get closer to Him? I don't know, y'all. It's just something I thought about. All right, y'all. Today is Thursday. It's Friday Eve. Enjoy your day. Be blessed. Make someone smile. And young ladies, keep your legs closed. Much love.